Oh, hi. It's me, Mr. Willyerd, coming back at you after the break. I'm here at school, ready to do art. Oh, I'm sorry. I just can't. It's a lie. It's all a lie. I'm not actually here after the break. I'm here 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I had to record this video 2 weeks before so that you can make sure to have something when you come back from break. You might be able to kind of tell from the context clues of these little holiday gifts I've got over here. I'm sorry, but I really do hope that after the break, when you're watching this video, that you have had a good holiday and break and are back ready to learn and ready to do some awesome and amazing art. Our feathered correspondents, the chickens, have also been out and about during the break. And you know what? We probably should go check our mail. Before we do, though, we got to make sure that we're super quiet because I actually had their mail sent to my school mailbox this time. And I don't want to get caught grabbing that mail because I could get in trouble. So let's go and check it out, but quietly.
It's from the chickens!
Mr. Willyerd, what are you doing?
Postcards from chickens, searching the world to find art. Postcards from chickens, hope we get a letter today.
It's from the chickens!
Okay, we're back. And we got the postcard from the chickens. Just a little bit of trouble, but it's fine. Here is that postcard. Look at this awesome picture that they have on it. It's a painting, it looks like, it looks older too. It's got like an old house. I can even see like a person there in the background along with the plants and trees. That is kind of interesting. You know what? Let's go ahead and read through to see what the chickens have sent us this time.
Dear Mr. Willyerd, over the break we flew across the pond to London, England, and found some very interesting art there. One of the things that pecked at our fancies was a collection of sketchbook pictures by John Constable. He sure drew a ton of pictures. We also have gandered at other artists using sketchbooks in so many other ways. That may be a good topic to nest in for one of your upcoming art lessons. Your friends, the chickens.
Man, those chickens, they always send great stuff. I am so happy that they could send that to us today. And I am glad they sent us this picture from John Constable. A great painter he painted many different things, but he's famous for his landscapes mostly, which is a lot like this, but he included structures and people and plants and awesome things in those pictures. Very cool that John Constable did that for us. I also found it very interesting that what they chose to talk about was what they saw in the museum, which was odd for a museum, right? The sketchbook pages. Who usually puts sketchbooks in a museum? Very weird, but very cool that we could kind of see what a sketch, or that the chickens got to see what a sketchbook from an actual artist looks like and what's actually in there. That kind of inspired me. Let's go to take a look at that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what we can find. All right, so here is the sketchbook pages that the chickens were able to see. They went to the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, England. And here is a sketchbook. It looks like that this sketchbook that we're seeing was done in 1814. John Constable actually lived from 1776 to 1837. he made some amazing pictures. And part of those pictures, a lot of those pictures were done in his sketchbooks. So let's take a look here at some of the stuff that he drew. So he drew things like figures, people, okay? And he just, got those there. And then he also drew like structures, buildings and things. This looks like it was a church um, there in England. Wow. Okay, here's a really cool landscape. Looks like we got some water and trees. Very awesome. Um, and you know what? Another person here. It's like, is he planting something? He's working on something, of course. So here is a water wheel that he found, and I like. It's just a very light sketch, but you also see kind of some value in there. He kind of colored around it. Um, Here's another water wheel as well, and it's called the water wheel because the water helps to turn it, and it turns other things like shafts and to be able to, I don't know, power sorts of things to be able to help things to turn. In this sketchbook, he's adding a lot of value and light in there and drawing out just basically from things that he sees or has seen around him. So he's drawing from life. Here's a guy standing on, it looks like a bale of hay or a pile of hay or something, and he's got a horse and carriage there with him, loading up that cart. Very cool. Just kind of seemingly random things. Here's a page where he's got many different people and different variations of, maybe he's got some lights and darks. Maybe he's just doing an outline drawing of them real quick. Maybe he didn't have as much time to sit down to draw those people as he did to sit down and draw this building. Maybe the people were moving around and he couldn't draw it in as much detail. I know I usually fall into a lot of that category. So very cool sketches from John Constable, drawing from things from real life, from things around him. And the chickens in their letter also talked about how it would be cool to see what other artists drew in their sketchbooks as well. A lot of these sketches that John Constable drew ended up in his paintings. And so, you know what? Let's kind of look at other artists and see how it helped their artwork to draw in their sketchbooks. Here is an artwork by Leonardo da Vinci, or a sketch, really, by Leonardo da Vinci. This is a study for the Last Supper. It's a sketch he did for his famous painting, The Last Supper. Let me bring that up for you here. I kind of want to make it a little bigger, so I'm going to do that here so we can kind of see it. Look, here's The Last Supper. This is a very famous artwork by Leonardo da Vinci depicting the story of Jesus sitting at a table with his disciples in what's called the Last Supper. You see a lot of complex situations happening, a lot of people, and a lot of things going on here. And so in order to help Leonardo sort out what everything was going to look like, he didn't just sit down and draw it all in one go. No, he sketched, he planned, and he thought about how people were going to be looking, how they were going to be sitting, if they were going to be doing anything with their hands, heads, eyes, or anything along those lines to make it look more realistic, more lifelike. So Leonardo da Vinci planned it out. He used his sketchbook to plan things and to get an idea. And sometimes he added a lot of detail and value. Sometimes he just sketched out real quick. How interesting. Here's another artist, Eugene Delacroix. This is notes from a journey to Morocco. Delacroix used his sketchbook to record ideas and memories. And it looks like that he, drew things that he thought might be interesting, like this looks like a window here. And he wrote things about them. So not just drawings in his sketchbook, but a lot of writing as well. He may have been interested in this hat by the notation you kind of see here. I can't read what he wrote, but it kind of looks like he was interested in this guy's dress, how he was dressed, and the hat there. That's kind of cool. And he even painted and added color in his sketchbooks, not just flat out a drawing with a pencil or pen, but it definitely color in a sketchbook. Very cool. Here's an artist. This next artist only used color, William Turner, for this page of the sketchbook. And William Turner was big on color and light and that sort of stuff. And so really, he was getting a good idea in his sketchbook of how the colors may work together. And so it's a good idea to he just kind of did a quick sketch. It's hard to call it a sketch, but it's a painting in his sketchbook. So we're calling it a sketch. Another one here by Vincent van Gogh for his includes some writing and his picture as well. And I love how you can see the great, amazing style of Vincent van Gogh in his drawing as well as in his painting. Very awesome. And here's one by Paul Cézanne, who did not draw out a lot of stuff, right? He had a few lines, okay? Lines kind of the silhouette of houses and roofs, kind of a little bit of the trees, but a lot of this in his sketch is kind of painted in just values of lights and darks, of shadows and shading, and how those are hitting each other and working with each other, interacting with each other, I guess is a better way to say it. So in his sketchbook, in this page of the sketchbook, he just sketched out kind of just value and color. Here's another a great drawing with lots of cool lines and shapes in it and working things out for this awesome drawing by Franz Marc. And another one, this is a diary page from Frida Kahlo, a diary. So recording your life and information and things that have happened, events that have happened in your diary. She also doodled and added some interesting stuff. So this is a lot different than some of the stuff we've seen before where they were drawing from real life. This isn't obviously stuff that's been in real life, but it's also very creative and interesting and a way to work through things and to get it all taken care of. And I don't know what this is here, if it was maybe a spill that happened and she just kind of made the most of it and created something awesome out of it, which is another really cool lesson in creativity and making the most of what you got in front of you. So artists used sketchbooks in a lot of different ways and in different styles. It's not like a really one way to use a sketchbook. There's so many different ways that you can use a sketchbook to create awesome things. But even with all the ways that they use to use their sketchbooks and use sketches, it all worked for one greater purpose, and that's to make that person or artist better in some way. They use their sketchbooks to practice their art. Okay, they may have used their sketchbooks to record memories or impressions that they had, maybe just to doodle or play or to come up with ideas, maybe to plan out a project like Leonardo da Vinci did here. So artists can use it all in so many different ways, but it's a really good way to just become better. It's a practice. It's a way to practice. It's kind of like if I was on a football team and I went to go every Saturday to practice. An artist will sketch in their sketchbook consistently to become better at whatever art they want to do. And it's a good habit to have if you want to improve in your artwork, is to work in a sketchbook. And I really love how you can work out so many different things for your sketchbook. This brings us to this week's assignment. Your assignment for art this week will be to record or to sketch or to plan or to doodle and play. Just like that, you're going to be making 5 sketchbook drawings. Now, you don't have to have a sketchbook for this. You can use paper, but if you have a sketchbook, use your sketchbook. Why not? And go ahead and you're going to do 5 sketchbook drawings. You can draw from the world around you. You can draw, your kitchen, or you can draw people, or you can draw your backyard or your pets. Okay, or you can kind of come up with new creative ideas. Try to solve things and figure out, how you can create something and draw it out first, sketch it out. Or you can record places you went. Maybe you went somewhere great during the break and you want to record what it looked like or what it felt like, or come up with a new creature, or you know what, the sky's the limit. And in order to help you figure this out, we're going to provide for you a document. So along with this video, there's a PDF document called 100 Silly Drawing Prompts. And you can go through that, and that can help you to figure out something that you can draw. If you're having a hard time figuring out. Sketchbooks can help you get through so many things. They can help you figure out a drawing. They can help you figure out emotions, whether or not you're sad.
Why? Why? Why?
You're happy. Or something else.
Huh?
Sketchbooks and drawing in sketchbook consistently just help you to be a better artist and sometimes a better person. So that is your assignment this week. As always, we would love to see your awesome artwork. So please go ahead and send any awesome art that you create into us. Here is our email addresses. We love seeing them. They make our days bright. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching the video. And you know what? Have a great week. Thank you.
Huh? Why?